Needlework is something that women are expected to do. It's something that is socially acceptable for them to do. And getting involved in politics in an overt way is not. So I write about material culture, usually as a way to try to understand women's lives, because they often don't show up in the written record. I actually grew up doing needlework. When I got older, I started to see people using needlework in these kind of subversive or surprising ways. So you see this in the anti-slavery movement. Women who are getting kicked out of anti-slavery meetings or not being seated in anti-slavery meetings because women are not welcome in this kind of political sphere. What do? They start sewing circles because it's this expected, traditional, acceptable thing for them to do. But what they're actually doing at these sewing circles is developing anti-slavery sentiments. They're raising money, they're reading literature. It's kind of amazing when you look at some of the poetry that women in the anti-slavery movement are writing, where they are explicitly saying, we're gonna harness our sewing circles. Because who could oppose a sewing circle? One thing that is really remarkable that needlework does is it asks you to actually really pay attention to your surroundings and to physical processes. Right? When you're making a quilt, you have to think about who picked the cotton, who am I bound to through these materials. So I think that's one way in which they're radical, but sometimes you find in letters them talking about how going to a sewing circle has helped them realize that their husbands are not the only political actors in their families. I think we're seeing a really interesting resurgence of interest in craft right now with a lot of younger people. There's this way that craft helps us slow down, and I think that it can feel like a kind of alternative to the pace and the texture of a lot of digital life. So I think I've been seeing so many people turning to craft like crochet, like knitting, like cross stitch as a way to kind of slow down. And I think it's so interesting and important to get a sense of the history of that craft, right? That people have for a very long time used these tools for all kinds of expressive ends.